How can you confidently handle criticism as a leader? So in this video, I want to give you a key question, and it's a skill really. It's a question that leads into a skill you can practice to help you to discern and figure out, can I handle this criticism in a positive, productive way? So this is a question I want you to ask yourself regularly from now on. Is this unsolicited advice? What does that mean? So to solicit something means to ask for something. You have a solicitor, you ask them questions on legal things, you request things. But if it's unsolicited, it means you didn't ask for it. And isn't it interesting that if you're a creative person, if you're a leader, if you've got some kind of role in a company, if you're trying to affect a positive change, a lot of people have an opinion for you, won't they? And a lot of it is unsolicited. So, for example, they'll say things like, "Why are you doing that? I wouldn't have done it that way. You do realize you're missing this. You're never going to be able to achieve that. This is a better way of doing it. I don't think you can achieve that." And you get a lot of that. I've had a huge amount of that. So start by asking yourself that question. Yeah. You say, is this unsolicited advice? Have I even asked for this? And if the answer is no or yes, you can start to ask some follow-up questions. So the first question I want to ask is this: do I know this person? Yeah, do I actually know this person? Do I know them? Do I like them? Do I respect them? Do I trust them? Who is this person that's saying this thing to me? Is it a random email? Is it a comment on social media? Or is it a member of my team? Or is it one of my customers? Do I need to listen to this person? The second question you need to ask yourself is, say they're putting you down or saying you can't achieve that. Well, have they done it? Say, do you thinking about writing a book or starting your own company? And the person that's saying you can't do that, no, you can't, you can't do that. Have they ever written a book or two or five? Have they started their own successful company? The answer is no. You can smile and just ignore their advice, right? And the third thing is, what's your relationship to this person? Meaning, have they got your best interests at heart? That's a really key thing. Sometimes the people we know best, they don't actually have our best interests at heart, right? They could be members of your team. They could be people you're working with, and you're like, I know them, I respect them, but I don't think they got my best interests at heart. So that can help you in trying to see, is what they're saying valuable? Because if it is, if it's a member of your team, it's somebody you trust, you think, do you know what? Well, I need to really check myself here. They've helped me to see something. That's really helpful. Even if it was unsolicited, you can use it. But a lot of the time, it's not. So I'll give you some examples, silly examples from my life. I wanted to make a pizza oven in my back garden many years ago with my ex-girlfriend, and she wanted to make one. And I thought, you know what? I love pizza. Let's do it. That's a big project, right? To make a pizza oven from scratch. We did the whole thing just using YouTube. We got one person to cut some bricks for us because it's very dangerous, but using a circular saw. But other than that, we did the whole thing ourselves. Even my own family were like, you're not going to be able to do this. And we've got the wooden sleepers to make this wooden plinth, and we've got them in the house, all these 20 sleepers. I'm thinking, and my own family, some people, my own family, you're not going to be able to actually do this, Mike. You do realize you're bitten off more you can chew here. I can look out now and I can go into my garden and I can sit on that pizza oven. It took a long time, right? And it was hard work, but it did. And all the people that were well-meaning and giving me all this unsolicited advice, they had never made one, so I ignored them. Right? I'm trying to help a billion people. It's a big mission. You might be trying to do something that's really big and ambitious. Go for it. You can have all these people saying, you're not actually going to do that. Why don't you aim smaller? Why don't you try this first? Yeah. But it's unsolicited advice. So it's incredibly liberating to now think, I don't have to listen to these people. If you really want to take this on board, this is something that I've been doing recently. You have to be really discerning, strategic, and say, whom am I willing to listen to? So, like I've just said all the stuff before, but just add this in. We tend to listen to the people that shout loudest and the people we don't really know. So, people on social media, people online, random emails, and we don't pay enough attention to the small amount of people that we should be listening to. So, for me now, I listen to my team, I listen to my customers, I listen to my clients, I listen to my business friends. Yeah. And if there's other people that give me negativity outside of that sphere, I don't have to listen to them. Whereas in the past, I'd really listen to anybody who had anything to say about me and my business, and that can be incredibly liberating. Yeah. So just think about that. Who are the people that you're willing to let in, into your heart, into your mind, into kind of like to dictate what you do next? Be careful with these people. And the follow-up question I always have people, they always say to me is like, well, what do I do if I don't want to listen to them? It's quite simple. Nothing. You can smile. You can say, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'll consider that. And then you don't have to follow up. They don't get to tell you what to do. They really don't. Be really careful who, you let influence you, including myself. Always think for yourself. I tell people, always think for yourself. All right. So if you want to be able to handle criticism confidently as a leader, ask that key question. Yeah. Is this unsolicited advice? If it's helpful, you know what you can do with it. If it's unhelpful, you can smile Just let it go.